Well, Ross, this might shatter the illusion for our viewers, but we actually filmed these videos in batches.
Mm-hmm.
And today's session, this is the one you've been eyeing up above all else. Even as soon as you found out this was a possibility for us to open, this one, I cannot wait.
Tomatin is probably, this is a Tomatin 42-year-old.
Okay.
And Tomatin is probably my favourite distillery, favourite spirit. Certainly up there with Bowmore, but Tomatin's what I can only drink one whiskey for the rest of my life. It would be old Tomatin.
Okay.
And so the thing with Tomatin is, in the 1980s, it was actually the largest single malt distillery in Scotland.
They had like 12 stills, or like 36 stills, or something ridiculous.
They used to make about 12 million litres a year, which is bonkers back. That's what Macallan make now. They make 12 and a half. And nowadays they make about 2 million litres a year.
Okay.
But it used to all get sold into the Far East. They've got very little whiskey left from the 1980s.
Went into a blend called Big T.
Big T. Very well done.
Good trivia.
Yeah, really good. So Big T was pretty much where all the Tomatin went. And I've still got the rare occasion to try some of their older stuff. And then it's got an incredibly fruity, exotic, tropical palate.
Yeah.
And I love that.
It's like the tropical notes you get in old Bowmore, but without the smoke.
Yeah. If people are casual whiskey drinkers, or people really into whiskey, and they always wonder, how does production really affect the spirit? Tomatin do one of the longest fermentations in whiskey.
Which means you get a lot of sort of esters, which is like the fruity
Exactly. And so I like to believe that after some time in casks are not too active, it gives this amazing tropical note. So I've been so excited for months that we've had this bottle. It was amazing we were able to get our hands on it.
It's so limited. I was looking at this earlier. It's one of only 28 bottles in the whole world. So we've got number 9.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So this is bottled by Atom Brands. And so they called it this like the unrepeatable series, and it's basically the dregs of previous releases. Okay. But they're calling that the forgotten gems.
Yeah.
So 43.5%.
This is well, you're not on their marketing team. This is the dregs.
It's basically the leftover, and it's about trying to get these bottles most people won't open as that kind of note to historic releases. Yeah. So it's 42-year-old, 43.5%. I'm really excited to try it.
It's good value as well.
Just over £300 when it was released.
And if you think about official 40-plus-year-old bottling from Highland Park, whatever, you're talking, 5 figures plus. Yeah. So for a couple £100, very, very good value.
I'm amazed we managed to get it. I'm really excited.
My one concern is that the strength isn't great. And obviously, generally, with the angel share and long maturation, yada, 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 the spirit can get a bit tired.
Yeah.
I think if it was bottled at 40.1%, you think, well, somebody's panicked and we thought we need to bottle this now.
Yeah, I think...
Hopefully this is still vibrant.
I think it's a really fair point, and I think we'll be able to tell when we stick our nose in the glass if this has still got it, or if that character has dissipated over time. 42-year-olds is very old. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, 50% of the whiskies that we try over 40 years old, it's often completely knackered. Yeah.
It's amazing because you think about the history and you get caught up in the romance of it all, but taste-wise,
and I am a sucker for that.
You love it.
I love trying something really old and ridiculous and going, okay, it's not that good, but how cool is this?
Yeah. I love giving you stuff blind because it cuts out all the bullshit.
It's true. It's true. Whereas this is a favourite distillery, probably second oldest Tomatin I've ever had. But for most people, it's just bonkers old whiskey. Yeah. So let's get it open. I don't know whether just to twist it up.
I feel like you'll be taking the remnants home, so whatever works for you. So what is it about Tomatin? Is it just old Tomatin that gets you excited? Like Tomatin 12, 15, 18?
Well, we've done the Legacy on the channel a long time ago. Or maybe it was a 12 bourbon and sherry. But we really, really liked it, and I was really surprised. Normally, it has been the older ones that have absolutely blown my socks off. But the 14-year-old port, I thought was a really good bang for your buck and something different. And the 18-year-old Oloroso is something that I've drank a good amount of. Yeah. But for special drams, what I'm hoping this is going to be is that 36-year-old core release equivalent. And the bottle doesn't really help us either, so I have no idea how this is going to look.
Got a bit of colour to it.
Yeah.
Which you'd...
I'm nervous.
Expect after. Wow, you're gonna love this.
I'm delighted to hear that.
Oh, mate, you're gonna.
That's a great sip.
I'm gonna say it before you say it. It's retro confectionery.
Is it?
It's so sweet. It's like Chewits and Skittles and...
So they don't tell us the casks here. But you're hoping this was bourbon and sherry. Oh my goodness. That is an exciting nose on a whiskey. That's
so good. I feel like
this. Oh, I can't. I'm so delighted. This is what it was. It's mango. It's passion fruit.
The strength works as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Imagine this at 50%. You'd be like, oh, it's a bit prickly. It's a bit spicy, whatever. But it smells sweet and indulgent and fantastic. How does it match up? That's a big grin.
Well, I also, for some of the illusion to go away, because we don't know when this is coming out, it's just February in 2025. That's the best whiskey I've had this year, and I think it'll be hard to beat. With how long is the finish?
The nose is 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Palate, I'd say, is 8.
I think that's crazy.
8 or 9.
I think that is as close to a 10.
It reminds me, but this is the weirdest comparison, those SMWS Penderins that we're both a big fan of smell unbelievably sweet and fruity.
And they let down on
the palate is good, but it's not.
They are bonkers, but the curls because they're quite young. For me, the finish is exemplary here. Absolutely loving it.
It's the longest word you've ever said.
It's just got me going a different way, this whiskey. This is everything that Tomatin can be. It's a shame that there's really very little stock of this age remaining, even in their own hands. And also, it's not a distillery you see independently bottled that often.
No.
You see G&M bottle a few of them in the Connoisseur's Choice range, but it's very rare to get your hands on a forgotten gem
if you
like this.
Gave this to somebody blind, what do you think they'd guess it was?
Life-changing. So that's what they guess it was. I think in terms of whiskey, it's hard because
like single malts, aged 6 to 18 or whatever. There's not really anything that tastes like this.
You're right. I think something that's good about this whiskey is it doesn't taste 42 years old.
That's true. Which sounds odd to a lot.
It doesn't. It sounds like a negative to say we're trying something 28 bottles of the world. It's this old. It doesn't taste that old, which is why it's so lively and fruity and juicy. It's a great distillery. I love what they do. But Atom Brands, credit to them.
Yeah,
we've had a few master malt bottlings. That we have enjoyed. This is by far and away the oldest thing we've had.
Certainly the most
bottled.
limited.
Yeah,
probably the most limited bottling we've. We've opened a few. One of one.
Stupid, some mental stuff. But for the price of this, if it was still available, I know I would have bought.
You'll be rushing home.
Honestly, I would have bought as many of the 28 bottles as I could, and I know a lot of people who are big Tomatin drinkers who will be very envious of us.
For less than 500 quid.
Ridiculous.
Which is still a lot of money. Like,
of course.
Like my limit's usually about 100. Like, there's only so good a whiskey can be.
Yeah.
And you get some stunning jams.
And it's into marketing, and it's into. Yeah. I do agree with that.
42-year-old single malt limited to
28 bottles.
28 bottles.
That actually delivers on the palate.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you weren't disappointed because I think you might have burst into tears.
This is a great
cardboard
day.
And flat and lifeless. This is lively and juicy and tropical and...
2025 has peaked for me, which is sad because I've got 10 months to go.
Yeah.
But what a pleasure to share a dram with you.
A stunner.
Absolute belter. This is a life-changing whiskey.
If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bevvy content. We want to hear what you think, your best whiskey experiences, the whiskies you want to try. It's a really exciting journey we're on, so make sure to join us. Download the Bevvy app on Google Play and App Store to keep track of your whiskey journey, connect with your whiskey friends, keep track of your favourites, anything you could ever want to do with whiskey, all in one place. It's the definitive whiskey companion.